Right, hi guys, welcome back.
Welcome everybody. Welcome back.
Well, it's been a little while.
Yeah.
Right, I'm making something today. Now, as the title says, I think this is something that will be absolutely fantastic for selling this year. I can't believe. And all you need is a bit of wood like this. And for what I'm using on this, I paid £2. I'll show you that in a bit. I'm going to start turning first, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to be making. I'm not making a bud vase. I am not making a tea light holder. Okay, this is something totally different, and it's a really good piece. So, watch. Okay, that's all I can say. If you want to skip to the end to see what it was, then you might miss any information that I tell you, because I'm going to talk through the video at certain points. Okay. Right, so I'm going to quickly get this turned, get started, and then I'll tell you some more in a bit. Right, I'm going to rough this down. I'm just going to use my spindle gouge, roughing gouge and all that first for speed. Now you can do this with carbide, you can do it with a skew chisel, you can do it with a roughing gouge, you can do it with spindle gouge. Don't do it with a bowl gouge. Bowl gouge is for bowls, hollowing bowls, not for this stuff. But if you want to do it with bowl gouge, do it with a bowl gouge, whatever. Okay, now when I say carbide, like I say, if you got the carbide scrapers that some of these make, you can use those. If you've got my tools, you know my tools are made to mimic whatever a traditional tool can do. Okay. Oh right, sorry. Starting off, I've got a bloody flat battery. I meant to change that this morning. Sorry, sorry guys, I forgot. So I just got to pop that one on charge, and I've got another one here, raring to go. Another 8 hours. Actually, they're even more than 8 hours. These, they work really well. Right, okay. I'm going to rough this down. It won't take me long. Just going to move my coffee behind this curtain thing here, otherwise it will get full. Right, there might be, it's a bit of ash, very dry, and it's got some loose bits of bark here, so I might have some bits of bark. I'm not going to pull it all off first. Lisa's got her face shield on, I've got my face shield on. I'm going to start it up, everything's between centres, and get going. See what I mean? That's it, the bark's gone. I'm just going to get this bounced around really quick. Now I can still feel some bits. Getting there. Like I said, with this, let me quickly show you. With this, I'm moving in because I've got gaps. You've got these little, there's only a couple of little marks left on it, that's alright, they're going to go. And here, it's where something grabs the trunk and pulls it across, and it leaves, or it pulls it through a machine, I don't know what it is, but anyway, it leaves marks in it. Right, so let me just take another few more cuts. So we'll get it down to size that I need it at. Yeah, I'll put shavings everywhere, and yeah. Right, I'm just going to put a tenon on this end. I'm going to use my carbide for that. Now I don't need a dovetail that. This is over length, this piece of wood. I'm not going to cut it down because I don't need a tiny bit to keep. Now I'm going to just clean this bottom bit up. So as you can see, I always set my carbides above centre. Never have them on centre, and I always cut above. Right, now I can come up like that because I'm going to have a nice foot there, because that's going to go into my sharp jaws. Okay. Just going to clean that up like so, and that is it. Right, I'll just clean that edge. That's it. Right, that can come out and go into my chuck now, and then that will be a lot better. It's got a couple of knots in that, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to be clamping down nice and tight on that. So I'm going to very quickly change this. But what I'll do, I'll bring you back when I've got my chuck on. Right, I've got my chuck on, guys. Okay, I'm using my shark jaws. So I'm going to pop this. This is what I mean. I've got a nice long tenon. I can really get hold of this because it's hanging out a little way, this wood, so I want to make sure I've got good grip, and I'm using my axe bits to chuck. Now I love these because they really are strong. They're so strong, these jaws. But be careful because you can damage wood very easily by over tightening. It's not a downside to them, but you know, you have to be careful. It's like when if you're on a recess, you have to be careful with these because they can easily crack the wood if you over tighten. Right, so that's that. I've got it. I'm going to bring my centre back up for a minute and put it back on there. It looks fairly centered, but I'll clean this up. Now, I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to level that up. I'm going to just take a very quick pass with the spindle gouge just to make sure it's trued up. And well, you'll see what I'm going to do. And now I've got to do some bits and pieces. I'll talk through it as I go. Okay. Right, so I'm going to start up. Everything's running nice. Right, so I'm now going over just to a 1/2 inch spindle gouge. Okay. And I'm just going to make sure that's true. That's all nice and true. Okay. And now I'm going to go back to my carbide. Right, I'm going to come in. Check my. Hang on. I'm just slightly low on my tool rest. That's it. That tiny little couple of mil makes a big difference. Okay, like I said, I always like to be above centre, and then I drop my handle and I come in. And I use the bevel of the tool. Now, just going to clean that top. Now the tailstock's not there for support. The jaw's got it. It's there just to stop any vibration because you can get a bit of noise. Okay, but it's coming away now because I'm done with that for the moment, and I'm just going to finish taking this bottom bit off. And we've got that nice and true there. Right now I need to come down, and I've got a measurement for this here. Whoop, get on that side, not that side, that's it. But I've got to come down a little bit more. Just to there. Right, now I want to bring this down. I'll take it to the full size. I mean, as you can see, by me rolling over like that, so I've got to measure this. This has got to be 35 mil. Right, I'm about 33. Okay, so I'm going to take one more little cut. Yeah, by dropping my handle, I reckon about there. That's it, that's a bit. And coming in, I'm actually getting a bit of bevel control, so I get a nice finish, but I'm going to actually take a little pass to clean it up anyway, this way. That's why I've not gone to exact the size, I just want enough to clean up. Right, now I'm going to test this with this. This has got to fit over. Right, it's just a little bit tight at the bottom, but I think actually it's tighter at the top. I think this tapers in here, so I'm going to actually take it from the top first, just a little bit. So I'm just going to come this way, like that, just here. Put a little thing like that. Let's see. I want it to be a nice snug fit. Well, not snug, but there, that's it. Perfect, right? So that's where we are. Now I've got to bring this down here to a lip just inside that. You'll see what this is all for in a bit. Hang on, I can't get the pencil. Got no lead in my pencil. Right, I can't really see it, but I know what I'm doing anyway. Right, and this is approximately start it and I'll tell you. Right, it's about 4 mil. We'll go to the inside of that. Let's have a look, just a quick check. Very tiny bit more. I want it to be flush. That's good. Allows me to do a little peel cut. So, which I will do with a spindle gouge. Like so. That will make that nice and clean. Okay, so I've got that bit. Right, now I've got to start bringing this down a bit. Right, now I'm looking at that because I've got one over there, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And I'm making another one of these up, see? Right, so what I want to do is come in there, because that's going to be a bead. Right, I've got to get rid of that. Got another caliper here somewhere. This one is going to tell me what the size is. I'm oversized at the moment. That's just coming up to the size. Okay, so now I can take this cut round. Roll it in, come around that side and roll it down for a little bead. Okay, at the top like that. That's what I want. And for a nice clean finish. There we go. Just clean that bead up a little bit. That's it. So I've got that, a little collar there, and then a bead underneath that. Right, now I want a length of 5 inches. So I'm going to just eye this. It's not got to be 100%, not for me. Right, 5 inches. That's going to be where the bottom's going to be. Right, so I'm going to come in with a parting tool. Just take a few cuts just to give myself. Just gives me a bit of play room at the bottom there. That's all. Right. Now I'm going to transfer this down. Right, just got to make one very quick measurement, okay? Sorry guys, I'll be back in 2 seconds. You'll see in a minute what this is. Into the quarter. Should take it a mil really. Take a mil. And up. So right, okay. So 15 mil up, which is there, and then I'm like from that to there is just over 40 mil. So there, about there. Doesn't look right. Yeah, that looks alright. That'd be okay. Right, okay guys, so that's where I am. So I'm going to bring that down. That's going to be my bottom. Yep. I'll keep looking over there because I've got one over there that I'm working from. Right, so this is now going to come round. So a little bit more. Just finish there on my bead. Yep, that looks alright. Just clean that up. There we go. Right, okay. So now I've got to just, I know where I am now, I've got to clean that. Yep. Clean that like so. Keep that tool rest nice and close. Now I want to just do a very little sand on that. It's important to give a little sand at this point. That's it, that's enough. Right, now I'm going to roll some beads on it. Right, okay, so we come in. I want 10. So that's going to fill into that bottom. Like that. I want 10 beads. I'm just going to clean them up a little bit. Not that they really need cleaning. Whenever you get one that's not quite as, maybe as round as you want it or something, you can just come in and gently clean them up like this. Right, there we go, nice beads. Just bring that in. Right, everything's nice there. Okay, so that's what I wanted, get those beads. Right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a quick sand to these bits. I will sand this a bit more again before I finish. I just want to get this main bit done before I do the next step. Using the one grit at the moment, I don't need to put any other grit on. Don't need to, I'm going to just, there, that's it. That's all that needs. Right, a little bit over the top of that. That's it, right, okay. Have a look at what we've got at the moment. Right, we've got our nice beads rolled, okay. We've got a nice finish on everything. It's all nice. That's ready for the next step. So, what I will do, because I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a bit of pornography.
You're going to what? I'm not doing that.
Huh?
I'm not doing that.
Well, yeah, I've got to get my machine over and stuff.
Pyrography.
Yeah, that's the stuff, pornography. All the same, isn't it?
It's not all the same.
Right, okay, I'm going to get my machine over, get ready to do it, guys, get my indexing system, and then I'll bring you back when I'm ready to do that, and then I'll tell you what I'm actually making. Right, okay guys, I've brought you back because I've got my machine here, my pornography machine. I've got my indexing system on, and I'm going to do some basket weave on this bit, okay? So I'm going to go and turn my machine on. There you go, it should come on. Oh no, I've got to turn it on at the plug here as well. Plug.
So many.
Right, okay. So this will only take a few seconds to get hot. And then I'm going to start, and I'm going to just bring my index system up, just lock this in at number 1. That's it, I'm locked in. And I'll let you see a few of these, and then I'll bring you back when they're done. Just waiting for it to get red. There it is, it's getting red, there we go. Right, let's see what we can do and get my wire caught. Right, okay. Slow going on that last bit. There we go. I'm just keeping them inside there. So that's one. So move, just do that. I've got 24 of these to do. So in a flash, these are going to be done, because what I'm doing is I'm doing this one, and then I'm going to bring you back in a minute when I'm nearly done. Right, okay guys, last two lines. Now don't worry if I burn a little bit deeper in places and things like that, because it's meant to be basket weave, so basket weave wouldn't be totally perfectly identical, but it is pretty much anyway. Once it's cleaned up, I've got to do a bit of cleaning up first. There you go, that was the last line. Right, take the index system away. That's that done, that's that bit. Right, now I've got to turn things off, so bear with me, bear with. Right, unplug that, get that out of the way, pop that up there, leave that there. Take this out, my little table, pop that back up there. My tool has to go back in there. Not that it's needed at the moment. Right, and what I'm going to do is take the indexing system away. I've just got to take my chuck off to just take my index ring off. Pop that back on. There we go. Job's a good one. Right, pop that over there. Put that up there out of the way, because I don't need that no more. Right, okay, so now what I've got to do is obviously burn the lines this way. So I'm going to quickly do that. So I'm going to turn that on. I've got my wire. There we go. All burnt. Right, now I like to do that little bit of sanding on it. So I'm going to get my dust extractor on. And that right up close, because I'm sanding, I'm putting my face shield back on. Right. And I'm just going to give it a little bit more of a sand. I'll just give a little bit across that. And what I like to do is just come in, just have a, let me get a fresh bend in it, like there, and I just do a very quick, I'm not really sanding in between them, I'm just giving a quick, like so, nice and smooth, a little bit across the top. That's done. Right, let's fill those. Right, now I'm going to do some slightly finer grits on here. Right, okay. Got a bit 240. I'm not really going to sand this anymore. 20. Nice, feels nice. 400. Stick over there. There we go. Right. That is it for the sanding. Now, I want to put a tiny bit of sanding sealer on. Turn that off. Do a bit of sanding sealer. Stay there. Now, I'm not putting no sanding sealer on here because Lisa paints that, okay? And I don't want sanding sealer on it. But all up this end is all right. Like so. And down this end, like so there. Right. I'll put my little bag so that will go there, right, okay. Right, just letting that dry off a little bit. Now, we'll get some shavings. Just that little nib. Like so. That's it. It's all looking nice. Oh, got that in there. And now I'm just using a bit of Canuba wax. Again, only on this top and bottom. And there, I'm not putting none on that. Right, there we go. Puff that up. You need a good bit of speed and heat to get the Canuba wax to move and get into the wood. Or get onto the wood, I should say. It doesn't get into it. Right. That is that bit done. Now before I part it off, I suppose you will know what it is, don't you? I'm actually turning. Right, hang on, let's have a look at that. Right. Okay, that's given us a lovely feel. Oh, look at that. That's a beautiful finish there. That's a nice piece of ash, actually. That's ash. I did say at the start, very dry ash. Okay. And the basket weave, look, our beads are all lovely and nice. All nice and smooth. Can't put any finish on them because Lisa's going to paint them. Okay. So I will now show you. And I think these are fantastic. I think they're going to be a good seller. Sorry, that chinging on there made the dog bark a bit. Right, so what am I making? Okay, I'm making these.
Hey.
Look at that, there's the one I made earlier. Absolutely brilliant. I think these are fantastic. Now, these this is just a bit of wood, bit of turning. You can turn whatever you want with them. These, the idea of these, that they just slip on and off, is absolutely fantastic. £2 I paid for these. £2.
What a bargain.
£2 bloody quid. I couldn't believe it. Do you know, when I actually bought them for £2, I thought they were going to come through like a little tea light sized one, you know, a tiny little thing. I thought when they come through like this, I mean, I bought loads of them. They might even be out of stock now. Okay. Right, you can get two different sorts because they're actually sold as bottle stoppers, bottle toppers or whatever, yeah, for putting on the top of bottles. And you can get these type, they just unscrew that, and you can get the sort that goes in. I've got both sorts. I prefer these ones actually, haven't tried them, but you got the thread there. If you want to put a thread in, you could put a thread. If you want to put a threaded bar in, you could do that. You could do so much with it, guys. You can really make some nice lamps. And the beauty of these is they're rechargeable. Okay, now for £2, I've got those. I've got bronze, I've got black. Hang on, let me show you. I do in the black, and the other ones I've got are a pleated type look. Okay, I'll show you them a bit later. Now you get the USB cable, which is a nice long cable, so they're rechargeable. Okay, the beauty of these is if you make these up to sell them, is one, people buy them, they can actually still use it as a bottle top if they want. When they've got a party or something, they make a nice thing. You can take them out in the garden, you can take them in. They're rechargeable, they give a nice bit of light, they're cheap. You ain't got to worry about wiring lamps and selling stuff that you've wired up and things like that. You ain't got no pat testing to do, anything like that. These, you can just make up these lamps, and I think the way things are, see, this at least has got to paint the other one to match up to this now, and look, you can see we've got pretty much exact there, so that's fairly good. So I'm going to have a pair. These are for me to have, one on either side on my mantelpiece. I had this going last night. It was on for 6 hours and it didn't even dim. You got 3 different light settings. You got that one, you got the white light, okay, and that is like normal indoor light. I like the warm light, that one, warm.
Yeah.
And that is really nice. And I think these could be an absolute fantastic seller this year, but you got to jump on it quick because they're going to be selling out really, really fast. Now I got mine, I know there's other places that haven't, but I got mine from Temu. Okay, you got to search it to find the cheaper, because you'll have them varying from 20 quid there right down to, I got mine for £2 each, and I got a load of them. Because once people start hitting on these, they are going to go. They do come with your CE, blue, blah, blah, all that crap
So it's quality
on the bottom,
checked,
so it's quality checked. Yes, they are made in China, they come from China, everything is, so there you go. That's what I'm making, guys. Okay, so most of you probably just skip to this bit and then turn off, but there you go. Never mind, and won't watch the rest. Right, I'm going to part this off now on here, because that's what I've got to do next. As I said, when I found them on Temu, I was going through and I mean they do them on eBay. eBay charge you like £16 or something for 2 or something like about £8 each. Those, as I said, on Temu I've got them for £2 each, so but you have to say, I love my Temu, I loved it.
We get loads of stuff on there.
Yeah, right, I'm just going to part this off. We've got the parting tool, everything's back on, chuck's all on, everything's good. So I'm going to come in here, give yourself a little bit of release there. Right, I'm just going to come in. There it is. I will clean that bottom up now with a sander. So I'm just going to clean the bottom up. Which all I have to do for that is put my my sanding arbor in. Axminster very kindly made their chucks to be compatible with my sanding arbors. Well, let's turn a bit of dust extraction on. Don't want to breathe none of this in. I've just slightly concaved it. Right, a little nibble. Right, and then that will be done. I will finish that bottom off on with some Canuba wax on the buffing wheel. Okay, but that's my lamp base, and just to check and make sure it does fit, I can bring this one over, and there we go. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Yep.
So there we go, guys. Cheap, simple, easy to do. For £2 for that. Well, this I didn't even pay for this wood. It's bits of tree branch, so you know you can get hold of tree branch and stuff. So literally, you're talking a couple of quid. And how much are you going to sell them for? Could be good. Could be good. Get on it. I know, Paul. I know you make a lot of stuff I do. So yeah, I would say, mate, jump on them real quick, because I tell you what, with the cost of electric going up and everything else, these things, I mean, I'm making these two. I'm going to have them in the living room just because I think they're really nice. I'm going to make another one up that we keep. I've said before, I normally have like a tea light and that in the our toilet, so if you get up in the night there's a tea light going and that. But I'm going to put one of these in there, and all, because you can just touch that. It gives you a nice little bit of light in there. Don't have to put the main light on, don't disturb someone. And yes, over the course of a year it will save you some money, because these are just battery operated, but it's rechargeable. So, and they last for, if you just turn it on when you go for a whiz, and then or whatever else you want to do in there, you know. Then they're going to last you for ages. It'll probably last you a week. You only charge it, and if you got, I've got loads of them, so if I've got another one, I'll just put that one on, take that one off, charge it up. So there you go. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this to Lisa. There you go, darling.
Thank you.
And she's going to bring it back, and I'm going to show you it all painted as a pair, like that. And there we are, guys, back. Lisa's painted it up, so I've got the pair now. So pretty good, and as you know, they just turn on like so. Yeah, really good. Really pleased with these. So, and just to show you the brightness, Lisa's going to turn the lights out. Oh shit, it's dark, isn't it? And there you go. They give a nice little bit of light, you know, light up an area. So yeah, okay, Lisa. I think they're pretty good. I think they're well worth the money. Well, what I paid, £2. £2. I mean, come on. And like I said, you get them in the plain black, which I've got the plain black one. So that lights up just like that. And then you've got these, which is like the quilted look, the pleated look, I should say.
Yeah.
These ones, they're the pleated look. Okay. And as I said, these ones have the over the top of a bottle, but you can get with these, and it just screws on like so. And they're the bottle stopper one that goes in a bottle. Now, I like that idea because I've got an idea of something I'm going to do with those, and I'll do that on another turn-in. So, but personally, I do like the other side, and it's just a touch like that, and that's it. Like I said, they last for hours. Now, what I like about them, and the reason that attracted me to them really good, and what I think will appeal to a lot of people, is I've got a couple of places where I want to put a little lamp, but I haven't got a plug socket anywhere near it, and I don't want to be running extension leads. And with these, I mean, if it goes flat, you can just charge it up. I mean, your charging port is just there. Just charge it up. Sorry, I didn't mean to turn it on. Charging port's just there. Charge them up, and there you go. I don't know exactly how they last for. I had one on for 6 hours, and it didn't at all, so I can't moan about that. So there you go. That was it, guys. That's what I've done. Now, I think they will be really fantastic sellers. I think if you had a table full of these at a craft fair, you'd sell them. You can do all different things on the bottom, all different bases, different types. I've got some ideas of things I want to do with some. But there you go. That's it, guys. I'm not going to mention, I haven't got any links, so please do not email me for links, okay? I've not got any links or anything like that. You're going to have to just go on the site and search for them yourself. Like I said, I got them at £2 each. How long they last for that, I don't know. You have to search around. And if don't email me to say where'd you get them from, because that meant you skipped from the beginning right to the end, and I said earlier on exactly where they come from. So there you go. Right, that's it, guys. So toodle pip, happy turning, and I think
Light up your life.
you light up your life, yeah. And I've got to do a little bit of pornography as well, which I like to do. I don't get to do that often. Lisa's not too keen on coming down here when I say about doing a bit of pornography on a
Not pornography,
video.
no.
No, I think the smoke bothers her, but I don't know. So if there's any volunteers out there who want to come and help me do some pornography videos, put your name in the comments. There you go. Right, anyway, guys, that's a toodle pip and a fare-de-do wells, and I'll see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.